Today on The Soul of Black Maternal Health, we're talking about one of the most urgent causes of maternal death worldwide, postpartum hemorrhage, or excessive bleeding after birth. In the United States, hemorrhage accounts for roughly 10 to 20% of pregnancy-related deaths, and most of these cases are considered preventable with early recognition and rapid response. Today, we'll break down the warning signs, the risk factors, what recovery should look like, and how families, especially communities in Spokane and across Washington state, can respond quickly when every second matters. Welcome to a special podcast series created in honor of Black Maternal Health Week, hosted by the Shades of Motherhood Network. I'm Dr. Akisi McMillan, integrative women's health expert. This week and this series exists to center the voices, leadership, and lived experiences of Black mothers while advancing community-led solutions that promote healing, trust, and collaboration. Across the United States, Black women continue to face significant disparities in maternal health outcomes. And while these disparities are real and urgent, so too is the strength within our communities where we hold powerful traditions of resilience, advocacy, and collective care. That's why this year's theme centers around the SOUL framework: speak, observe, understand, and lead. These conversations are about awareness, empowerment, and about bringing change. Across the United States, Black women continue to face disproportionate maternal health risks. CDC data shows they are more than 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes compared to white women. One of the leading contributors to those deaths is hemorrhage, severe bleeding during or after childbirth. Today, we use the SOUL framework, speak, observe, understand, and lead, to understand the issues surrounding hemorrhage-related deaths and Black maternal health. Speak. Hemorrhage is defined as excessive blood loss during pregnancy, birth, or postpartum recovery. It can happen suddenly, sometimes within minutes after delivery, or develop more slowly in the hours or days following birth. According to the CDC, hemorrhage contributes to approximately 10 to 20% of pregnancy-related deaths in the U.S. It remains one of the top 3 causes of maternal mortality globally. In Washington state, maternal mortality review findings show that delays in identifying abnormal bleeding are a recurring factor in preventable maternal deaths. Hemorrhage can occur due to uterine atony, which is when the uterus doesn't contract properly, retained placenta, tears or trauma during birth, and placenta complications. We speak about this not to create fear, but to create readiness, because hemorrhage moves fast and awareness moves faster. Observation is critical in postpartum recovery. Warning signs include soaking through 1 or more pads in an hour, passing large blood clots larger than a golf ball, dizziness or fainting, rapid heartbeat, weakness or pale skin, and finally, feeling that something is not right. Here's something important. Many women assume heavy bleeding after birth is normal, but postpartum hemorrhage is defined as excessive bleeding beyond expected recovery patterns. Families should also observe whether bleeding is increasing instead of decreasing, whether the mother appears weak, confused, or fatigued, whether she is changing pads frequently without improvement. In rural and urban areas alike, including Spokane, delayed recognition remains a key concern identified in maternal safety reviews. Observation saves lives because hemorrhage does not wait. Understand. Let's understand what causes hemorrhage. During childbirth, the uterus normally contracts to stop bleeding from where the placenta was attached. If it doesn't contract effectually, bleeding can continue rapidly. Risk factors include long or difficult labor, cesarean delivery, multiple pregnancies, high blood pressure conditions, or placenta previa or abruption. The National Institute of Health research highlights that rapid intervention is the strongest predictor of survival in hemorrhage cases. The encouraging truth is this: when hemorrhage is recognized early and detected immediately, outcomes improve dramatically. Treatment may include medication, uterine massage, IV fluids, or surgical intervention. Understanding this helps families know that time is the most critical factor. And finally, lead. Leadership in hemorrhage awareness begins with preparation. Women can lead by asking providers, "What is your protocol for postpartum bleeding emergencies?" Creating postpartum support plans and having someone monitor them closely in the first 28 to 48 hours after birth. Families lead by learning warning signs, staying present during early postpartum recovery, and acting quickly when symptoms appear. Community organizations like the Shades of Motherhood Network help educate families so no mother navigates recovery alone. Leadership is readiness, leadership is response, and leadership is protection. In closing, hemorrhage is serious, but it is also recognizable and treatable when we use the SOUL framework. Speak, observe, understand, and lead. Awareness creates time, and time saves lives. Thank you for joining the Soul of Black Maternal Health. For more insight on Black maternal health, visit theshadesofmotherhoodnetwork.org.